Okay, so this is going to be an essential guide for people looking to start playing Valorant or start learning how to play Valorant, get better at Valorant, whatever you say. And to simply start off with it, right, we're going to be looking at what you need to practice. So I'm going to be honest, the most simple thing you're going to want to look at is things such as aim, movement, positioning, and well, how to practice those things, and then a few other things like fighting etiquette, and you get the idea. So start off with aim. Really simple. Two types of aim. Those two types of aim are passive and active. For instance, passive is I just keep my crosshair here, I move, boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot. You get the idea, right? You're not moving your mouse. Like if I give a proper example, let's say you're behind this wall and you're ready to peek the angle. You see? Headshot, like you have your crosshair in the right place, basically. Active aim is more or less me just trying to flick on these bots, right? That's active, and generally speaking, in Valorant, most of your aim is going to be passive aim. It's going to be you just pointing your mouse where you think they're going to be, peeking the angle, and well, killing them, you know? And if you want to practice things like active aim, there are methods online that are like the Miyagi methods, or just general like aim labs training. Though I will not say it is a necessity. I feel like if you play the game enough, your aim will become better with time. At least that's what happened with me. I never really specifically did any aim training. And I mean, moving on to the next mechanic, there's stuff like economy. So to talk about economy in the game, we're going to go into the custom purely because it makes it a lot easier. Let's put on cheats. Okay, right, so when you play in competitive, you got to know who your agent is, you got to know what you're going to be doing, and you got to be knowing what you're going to buy. And I'm just going to use Brimstone because everyone has Brimstone. You know, if you're on a new account, whatever, you get 2 extra agents. Obviously, those can be who you want to be, but Brimstone, he's a smoker. What are my Madrid servers? Huh. Lag. But basically, with Brimstone, generally speaking, on the first round, you're going to want to look to buy 2 smokes and a ghost. Or 1 smoke stim, like let's say you're attacking one, actually you can get 2 smokes in the stim. Or you can just get 3 smokes. And there are a lot of different things that you can do with Brimstone. So for instance, let's just say we're attacking, right? You're going to want to obviously peek these sort of angles, you want to clear these angles, and obviously you want to know where to smoke. So for instance, I know you may not do this yourself, but I've seen people smoke like this for your team, which is obviously terrible for many reasons. One of them being you can't see anything. I'm just going to do this real quick, hold on. You can't see anything. The enemies, sure, they can't see you, but you can't see them. And in terms of positioning, it makes it really hard for your team. So what you genuinely want to do is, well, if they have a raise or something, or you just wait here. You wait for the nade, for example. Then you peek out. You want to hold this angle first, because generally speaking, it's the first angle you're going to see them. If they're deep rubble, they're probably not going to be able to see you yet. So you want to just look at this angle, and then you want to hold your crosshair at this height, which, by the way, you can get your crosshair height generally on the map with different things. So you can see the little like line across here. That's generally head height. Same with this. Same with this. Like you will learn head height from just things around the map, and it's very helpful. Like this. It's generally speaking just a little bit above head height. Like if I walk up to it, peek it, that's head height. That's head height. Like very helpful. But like let's say, I don't know, so you're pushing with your team and you're not sure if there's anyone on a cubby, anyone on tree, anyone on main, anyone on stairs. What you're generally going to want to do, right, is do a close smoke on stairs, cross to rubble, right? This is like I think about positioning. So as far as you're concerned, there could be someone here, there could be someone here, there could be someone main, there could be someone in tree, right? You want to close off the angles as much as possible. So let's say if you stand here and you walk up to main, right? There's so many issues with that. One, someone could be in stairs. They could be either deep stairs or they could be close stairs. There could be someone here. There could be someone in this main angle waiting for like this. There could be someone here in this little corner right here waiting to watch main. And you want to try your best and to cut off those sort of angles. So let's say your team pushes up main. They're like waiting here. You can kind of sit like this. You can see if anyone's in that corner, if you want to peek. Then we can push up to here. And as you can see, in these positions, I can clear that. And no one else can hit me. Sure, if someone's in tree, that I'm pretty sure they can wallbang this. Which they can. So if you're picking up the orb, be careful of that. But generally, you want to look to close the angles, take the fights. If you have another teammate, let's say they're looking here or here, and you're looking to clear this angle, or like you look this way, your teammate enters onto site like that. Generally, you just want to be able to make sure your angles are safe. You would never want to go into sight knowing if there's someone in there, or if there's someone there, or if there's someone here, or if there's someone behind the box. Like, you have so many angles to care about, and if you're by yourself, you can't look after them. So for instance, let's say you want to entry onto site, and you know there's no one here, but there might be someone here. You want to sit like here at this angle, because therefore no one can see you from here, no one can see you from here, and the only two places you got to worry about is here and here. If you're just watching this angle, you can go one, you know, entry onto site. And that is generally what you need to know for positioning. You need to make sure your angles are safe. I can tell you from experience, I've played competitive, I've had to entry in like this, and I've begged my teammates to watch here, they don't watch it, and we all die. That's simply how it goes. So make sure you want to tell your teammates as well. Communication is very important. If you don't communicate to your teammates what you're going to do and what you want them to try and do, then it can be tough, okay? And another thing actually I want to talk about is
30 seconds left.
Planting etiquette, and that's basically where you plant spike, okay? You can actually, there's a website I'm pretty sure you can use to check the most common planting spots, and I believe on C site, this is a very important site, it's either here or here. And I can tell you right now, there's so many problems with that. First of all, right, let's say we plant like in this corner, right? Where can you fight it from? If I ask that general question, you can maybe play here, because let's say you don't have sea hall control, you don't have waterfall control, you're just planting on spike, right? So that in that corner, the only places you can really fight it from is here, and if you somehow can, from up here. That is it. Generally speaking, though, you're not going to be having in that deep in sight, because let's say they push out waterfall, someone pushes out hole, they peek you like this, boom, you're dead, right? If they peek you on here together, like, you're dead. You can't fight those angles. And so planting in corners like this generally detriments you, and then here generally detriments you. It's never good. Whereas planting somewhere like here, which I will commit to the plant, is so much better. One, you can fight it from waterfall, you can fight it from hall, you can fight it from on site, you can fight it from close site, you can fight it off site. There's so many different angles you can use to see the person and kill them. If you need to, you can even smoke it and spray into the smoke. They can't do anything that way. I mean, they tend to smoke it themselves, whatever, you know, you don't necessarily want to do that. And also, another thing you can do with brimstone, this is just shoot a molly straight up. That's a little bit of brimstone tech. That'll land back down, and it should just be on the spike. And actually, a little tip with this, if you are defusing a spike that is like this, you probably want to stand right here, because, I mean, I can molly it just to show. Never mind. If you stand on this angle right here, you can't get a... what's it called? You can't be burned. So, if I try and show that again... okay. Yeah, I'm not burning right now. If I drop down here, I'm burning. So if I'm trying to defuse, I'm burning. If I'm on here, I'm okay. Okay? Really simple things. But you just genuinely want to make sure you know where you are planting, what you're going to do, how to play around it. So like another example, okay? Right. Let's say you want to plant on this side. You have all of site control and all of tree control. So you can plant anywhere you want. And let's say it's like a 2v1. So your teammate is pushing them and they die, right? So now it's a 1v1. And you have to plant for yourself, okay? The enemy is, I don't know, let's say they're unknown, so you don't know where they could be. But like you want to plant somewhere, okay? Right. First off, you got to think about where you can fight. So let's say I plant there, right? You can fight that from tree, you can fight that from main, you can fight that from heaven even. Like if you push quickly, you can fight it from drop, okay? And another, like you want to keep in mind, right? What angles can I fight? It's always a think of angles. You want to know which angles you can fight and which angles you can't fight. Let's say I'm in main and I've got to fight this. You got to be careful because if it's right there, that's an easy angle. But obviously over there, it's a little bit deeper. They could push from here. They could be in tree waiting. Like, you know, there's so many different things. And so generally in like a 1v1 situation, you want to think about where is the best way to isolate them so they can't like fight it. For instance, right here is always a good spot because if you plant it, they're going to be stuck behind this box in here. Whereas if I plant like, I don't know, this side, the only way I can see them is if I peek from tree. From here, it's main. So like you can only fight this angle from main. You can only fight this one from tree. Like it's generally like these sort of better angles to fight are isolated. So if you plant like here, which I'm not going to plant, you want to keep in mind where you fight from. So I can shoot my molly up, wait for them to go around, and let's say I want to fight it from on-site. So playing on-site is quite risky, as you can see, again, shooting straight out, it lands on the bomb. Playing on-site is risky. This is because you don't know where they are. They could be heaven, they could be drop, they could be tree, they could be pushing tree. If they're pushing tree and you're drop, you're stuck. And you always got to keep in mind of these sort of things. And like you want to, like, I don't know, let's say you push tree, clear it. Let's say they're on bomb and they don't know you're there. You want to slow walk or something so they don't know. It's these sort of things you got to keep in mind. Just generally about positioning. Obviously, it's a little bit hard for me to do because obviously I'm not in an actual game. But yeah. And again, one last thing I want to pick up on is angles. As in, no, peeking angles. So, for instance, like I said, you want to peek this angle first. You want to have your crosshair ready at this head height, right? But there's so many different ways you could peek it. For instance, I could do a pop-in swing, which is where you hold out your, so a pop-in swing. It's quite risky, but generally if your enemies are crouch spraying, you can just do pop-in swing. So let's say they are right here in the open, right? And you peek out, they spray, you stop, you headshot, okay? Really simple. Pop-in swing is if you hold the counter strafe and then headshot them. And a counter strafe, by the way, is if you hold, like, let's say I'm going to go right to counter strafe, I hold D, let go, tap A, and immediately I stop moving. So if I do that really quickly, as you can see, my bullet is generally, if I do it right, going to be 100% accurate. And you obviously can do this quite fast. Obviously, I'm not perfect. I don't tend to counter strafe, and it generally makes it easier for you to hit more shots whilst being more agile. Like, just a reference in this game, you never want to crouch spray. Not only does it make you slow, like obviously look how slow I am crouch sprayed compared to walking. Walking is so much faster, but if you get hit by a bullet and you're crouching, you're going to be even slower because bullets in this game slow you when you are hit. Which actually makes another angle swing, which is the tens swing, as I like to call it. Which is basically, let's say someone's main right, you keep jiggling it like this, and let's say they then start to hit you. Most people would probably like turn away and run, right? But you can still get killed. So what I'd prefer you to do in these sort of situations, because obviously if I'm running and gunning, I'm no slower if I was moving. And if you get hit, you're going to be slowed. And actually, if you're slower, your accuracy is better. So if I go on to, I think it's in stats, we go on to shooting error. If I get the graph. So as you can see, shooting error is on the right side of my screen. If I'm running gunning, it goes up to 6, right? 6 is not max. If I am slow walking and running gunning, it's 3, so it's half, which means it's, you know, half as accurate, or better accurate, you know what I mean? And if I'm crouch spraying, it is 1.8. And if you're shot, obviously you're going to be moving slower. So whenever you're peeking an angle like this and someone hits you, spray when you move backwards. Obviously you can see those bullets generally are quite accurate. Obviously if I'm getting hit, they're going to be even more accurate. And it makes it so if you get hit and you're moving back from an angle, you can potentially kill someone. So remember to spray when you're moving back from angles, because if you get hit, you're slower, your accuracy is better, and you genuinely hit more people. And then the last thing is obviously counter-strafing. Counter-strafing is a bit high tech. Obviously, when you're fighting someone, you want to counter-strafe, but obviously don't go left, right, because that's predictable, right? Eventually, someone's going to hit your head on your crosshair. Maybe a right, left, you know, like, change it up. You don't want to constantly go right, left, because a lot of people in lower elos do that. And I mean, if you can, like, start practicing these sort of things, so counter-strafing, you can just go into a deathmatch, testing it, you know. Obviously, you don't want to keep doing the same angle over and over again. You want to change which when you're moving. And think about off angles as well, actually. Think about, so, as I've mentioned before, when you're peeking this first angle, you want to be looking at around about here. Imagine if you are here, right? So you're much deeper in than they would expect. You can probably kill someone, because most people are going to be looking over, let's say over here, right? And you're going to be deep here. So if you go like that, then they come out, then you've already got the better angle on them, because they're probably not going to be looking there just yet. Obviously, it's a little bit harder to get to this angle, but let's say if they're rotating around and you're holding close like this, they're not going to expect you. They might have someone come around here, they might have someone, the rest of them might just rush up, they might not clear it. And so you can just sit at this angle, and they wouldn't expect it. It's like off angles, right? If you're also pushing main, actually, one of the most common angles, especially moving from this point, is here. Everyone expects someone to be peeking that way. And another thing you can do, again, it's quite risky, but you could be out in the open. If you're a Reina, for example, you can kill them, E out, right? Really simple. You just got to think about where people would not put their crosshair. So, for example, another one would be, let's say we're going over here. If you're behind right here on rubble, and no one knows you're there, and they're clearing over, someone might try and clear it, everyone else might just rush up. Let's say the one person goes to clear it, then they don't expect you, obviously. You can peek out, headshot, and then peek out again. And it's thinking about where they won't expect you to be. It's really as simple as that. And that is just generally what you want to be looking for when you play Valorant. You got to be keeping those sort of things. Those are very basic. I mean, there's very much more technical sort of things you can practice. There's a lot of mechanics with a lot of different agents. For instance, Brimstone, you can literally angle his molly off of his ultimate, I think, or where his smokes come from. It's really strange, okay? I'm not too sure about that, but I'm not a Brimstone main. There's a lot of different things you can do, like double satchel, or you can obviously there's a lot, and you want to go into watching specific videos on that for those specific agents. There's probably some guides out there that speak way better than I do about them. But just generally, that's a few basic things if you're brand new to the game to look at to get better at.